Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream if you are new. My name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these charts, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you always do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased. If I stand to make money, I do. Important for me to talk about that. For you to do your own dang research, make your own dang decisions. Chat. What in the world is going on? How we doing, guys? How we doing? 9:22 a.m. Eastern. We're on time today. We're going to be looking at these markets, man. Talked about this. Talked about the potential for this coming. Talked about this. We're going to get into it today, guys. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my my trade from yesterday. 2 trades from yesterday. Some trading in the overnight session. Potential opportunity to capture movements like this and lack thereof. And the type of market that we're trading in, man. Just this volatile, headline-driven market. It is really an incredible time to trade. It's very different than anything I've ever seen in the past as far as Trump markets go. We're going to be talking about it today. I'll talk about my expectations before the market opens up as well. But first and foremost, good morning. Good morning, and Tien, I can't pronounce any of your guys' names. 30MD, Alan, Dwayne, Afters, Josh, Paul, Curtis, Buggy's Point, Late Patek, Callie, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Glad you are here. I appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for being here, man. 9:15 a.m. Eastern every damn day, free on YouTube, Kick, and X. Good morning, good morning, good morning. JNRVN, what's up? We still got some people waking up, it looks like. So let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this. First and foremost, I am here on TradingView, logged in through my Top 1 Futures 15K live account, prop firm live account, same one that I've been in through Tradeovate. Yesterday, we continued the win streak on live session. Technically, we took a break even. Took a W after the live session. This was my my live stream trade where I got stopped to break even, and then it continued. I did take it again. Down here for a $1,000 W yesterday on YM, and then here was the huge movement across all of these U.S. indices on the ceasefire. Comments out of Trump on the ceasefire. Talked a lot about this, guys. A lot about the macro environment just pushing the market all over the place. Pretty disappointed that I was not structured. Well, I shouldn't say completely. I've got some longer term holds that, are going to be doing well today. But I'm not super stoked that I wasn't putting heavy risk on ahead of this, right? In order to capture this, I mean, technically for the overnight session, maybe you did something in here, right? Like maybe you did something in here, but that would have been hard to withstand, right? Same thing with NQ. This would have been really hard to take 1,000 tick, move to the downside before that move to the upside. So you really would have had to be positioned for an overnight hold, for a swing. Something you can't do in prop firms. I've got live futures accounts, and I've loaded up accounts that I could trade options in specifically for this reason. So I am a little bit disappointed that I didn't have a really a big day yesterday into this morning across futures and options. It's something that I've wanted to get better at, really swing trading the U.S. indices in live accounts. There's just only so much you could do, man. Trading 47,000 different prop firm accounts, right? Was posting a bunch about that yesterday. Payouts all over the place. It's hard to try to hit the market from every angle, but this is something that, I would like to have captured more of, an overnight swing. But this one, for me, really, right? The market opened up. Like, let's look at it on NQ. Maybe you're setting a limit order for a pullback on a gap fill, but probably not, right? I think a lot of people got cooked. In fact, I saw a lot of people got cooked, right? Because they waited for session changeover. They got long here, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But you would have had to have a a 250, 300 point stop. You would have had to have 1,000 tick stop loss in NQ to survive a long not getting stopped out here, right, on the actual news breaking, and then capture the movement to the upside. So I with a mini, I'm not able to run a $5,000 stop loss, right? It's not going to happen. Maybe $3,000, but even that wouldn't have survived it. So this would have had to been a hold from prior day. And I've talked a lot about doing more of that, and this is a good reminder that I want to get more focused up doing that, right? More focused up swing trading some U.S. indices, some longer term plays, right? Because how would my trade have yesterday played out? Here's my longs from yesterday, right? Easy to hindsight bias that, right? But something like this specifically, right? Not every day I'm going to be swinging for a huge, trade, but something like this specifically where we have an ultimatum, essentially, a conflict, macroeconomic, right? Fundamental movement, where we're either going to have an outside movement to the upside or downside, right? If you're wrong, you're wrong, right? You take a stop out. If you're right, you have a really big asymmetric risk and reward set up here. So a little disappointed that I wasn't able to capture that. I did take an L yesterday. I overtraded, I'd say, in the overnight session, having missed that, trying to scout my way across here. I'm pulling up today with a $1,500 red live account. That's what I got here for the top one live account. Scalping NQ. But I was late to the party. It was already too late, right? Here's the movement. Up here, you missed it already, right? Even from here to here, you missed it already. So, that's part of the game. Not a lot of damage done. I didn't hit it across a whole bunch of different prop firm accounts. I did think I put $1,000 in a Top Step account, but I didn't mess with live accounts. It was already too late for it. So, anyway, that's kind of coming into today. I am going to be refocusing a little bit on swing trading U.S. indices and live accounts, either with live futures brokers and or swing trading options, right? Short term, you could say, short term options, but you could do that with just cash accounts. But let's talk about this coming into today now. I have pretty low expectations coming into today. I think we could see some serious volatility. We're getting ready to open up here, guys. About 30 seconds to NYSE open. I think we could see some serious volatility come in. I did see a lot of people posting, just from insiders or big trades being placed long, positioned long. Certainly could see the market move, just continue a huge move to the upside. I could see a big pullback to the downside. This was the movement, right? This was already the movement here. This was the clean, big move to the upside from prior day. This was pretty nasty right in here before we blasted off. But today, I think this is going to be a really tough trade. So I'm not going to pull up with insane expectations. We're opened up and TradingView is frozen. We're already lagging here. What are we doing, TradingView? Okay. We're starting to get some movement out of TradingView here. That was awesome. We started to lag right at the open. And why I'm taking off to the upside, just driving immediately higher. Obviously, just to talk about this from a higher time frame perspective, you can see what we did here, guys. Huge blast off, right? We started to get some of this bullish movement. Big blast off yesterday in the overnight session into today. We are taking off at the open here, pushing pre-market highs, obviously way above yesterday and last week's high altogether. Really just blasting off to the upside. I think this is going to be a tough trade. A lot of times, after a huge movement from the overnight session, you guys could just go back and look at this. After a huge movement for the overnight session, we don't see a lot of clean price action, right? The move has already happened, right? Everybody's already traded it. Price has already moved to the next area that it wants to move. We don't always get a beautiful continuation. Sometimes we get a nasty reversal, a nasty pullback. I'm going to be patient for this one. I certainly think we could see some continuation. We could see a reversal here. We could see a lot of chop. I'm not going to look to trade this right into the open at all. I'm not running a trade from yesterday or the overnight session. So I'm not going to look to trade this right into the open. I'm going to be here fully focused up. Ready to trade it, ready to dig myself out of a $1,500 red morning that I'm starting with here, or red last night session. But I'm not going to look to do anything crazy. I'm certainly not going to run a trade right into this. To frame this from a higher time frame view, right? Higher time frame view. Look at the daily here, guys. Same stuff that I do on the lower time frames, but just to kind of, frame where I think we could move on this. Here's the last zone that I have to the upside where, we're pushing above right now. We come through this level of low volume right in here. This is the next area, right? Top end of this, really, really aggressive wick from last year before an aggressive move to the downside. Obviously a key level we returned to multiple times. Low end of a high volume node, right? As we push higher, I could see us coming into the 48,750s. And then this would be the, the next area to come into a high volume node right over here. The consolidation for the beginning of this year. Big question is, are we going to see all-time highs? Like, are we going to go back? Are we going to pull back up to all-time highs? I saw a couple people pull up and say, we're only 3% off of all-time highs. We've, are making a case to completely erase this move and just continue to the upside. Is this going to be a nasty bounce before we get further correction this year? Where are we really going to go? Honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I was expecting some big volatility. I was expecting a big move. I was not expecting this big of a movement. I was expecting yesterday, reading those Trump tweets, right, and kind of what we were talking about. If that ceasefire, which seemed likely rather than, just the overstated destruction of a human race, like, we were talking crazy, bombing of power plants and bridges, if that didn't come to fruition, which it didn't, I expected a move to the upside. I didn't expect it to be this big. I honestly didn't. I expected it to be pretty serious, whenever it was going to happen. It got pushed from, maybe middle of the day yesterday. Tuesday was power plant and bridge day. That's what he was talking about. Ceasefire talks started to happen over here, right? Obviously. I expected something, but not this big. This is massive. So it's going to be really interesting to see if this continues. Really going to be interesting to see if this continues, man. But the markets that we're trading in, and I'll finish the rant with this. The markets that we're trading in here, guys, are very different. Very different than, let's say, 2.5, 4 years ago, right? Very, very different. These are what feels like to me, and I saw a lot of people talking about this. This is like a headline-driven, geopolitical, tariff-driven market, right? Volatility based on those things. It's not so much of this more efficient back and forth, auction. At least it doesn't feel like that. It really doesn't feel like that. It feels like a lot of consolidation and chop, waiting for the big fundamental driver, like, just waiting for it. And if you're not positioned ahead of it, right, coming into it, you don't really stand a chance to take part in it. So, it's markets are dynamic. They continue to change. The market that I'm trading today is not going to be the same thing that I'm trading 5 years from now, right? Hopefully I'm here 5 years from now. I plan to be. We have to be dynamic. We have to be fluid as traders. And, I'm not going to become the fundamental base trader, but I am certainly paying more and more attention to the macroeconomic climate, the headlines, and something that I'm going to factor into my trading we were talking about is Squawk, a live news feed, the highest end one that I can find. I think I'm going to start with News Squawk, which is a high ticket paid live feed of news. It's faster than anything else out, or they compete to be the fastest. Super expensive, but I'm going to be, it's a text feed as well as a live feed. It gets pumped right into your headphones. So runs 24 hours a day. I'm probably going to start to test with some of that because, as this stuff is breaking and ahead of it breaking and, kind of just being able to understand what's going on and, try to position yourself accordingly is becoming ever more important. Not being able to do that is just tough to trade around. So anyway, but it's really interesting, guys. Really, really interesting. Very, very, very different market than we were trading years ago. Very different. So talking about this on YM, guys, again, for the most part, this is the move. I'm not throwing my hands up, right? We talked about it a lot. I talked about, positioning myself. By the time I was ready to paying attention for overnight, it was already, too late. And I should have considered positioning myself yesterday as we kind of drifted and consolidated for, whatever direction I wanted to be, which was long. I was long all week, long last week, which was long. I would have liked to swung some longs overnight. Probably Monday, some really high time frame, longs Monday into Tuesday and then into today, Wednesday. But talking about this today, guys, push to the upside here on YM. Kind of choppy consolidating so far on ES and NQ. Really muted open. Again, like I said before, low expectations. This was the move, right? So a lot of times what happens is traders miss the move, like I did yesterday, and then they try to chase it, like I did yesterday before I threw the towel in, before I did more damage across multiple accounts. Same thing today. They missed the entire move. They wake up, they go, oh my gosh, YM is up 1,400 points, 3%. Okay, now I'm going to start here. And it's like, all right, bro, you're kind of late to the party. So we're late to the party here. That's okay. I trade NYSE session with you guys every day. So to most traders, we're going to watch when we get here. Gun to my head, which I'm happy that I don't have every time I say that. Gun to my head, if I had to take a trade here, this would be it. Be short back to VWAP. I don't like being counter to this. I really don't. I'm tempted to put one on with you guys here. This is the only setup I have, and I really don't see one coming outside of this. Waited 8 minutes into the open. I did say I wasn't going to get too aggressive here. Let's just throw like a close to accounting for some terrible fills that we get here on TradingView. Yeah, like if we don't push to the upside here, if we don't go and drive higher, I think we're coming back in. I think we're going to pull back into this area here. I think we're going to get a little bit of a correction. I don't really want to pull up. Why is this doing this? Why are we not tracking? Sorry, guys. There we go. If I had to take a trade, this is it. I think we could see some volatility this morning as more players get positioned here. I don't know that I want to fade this right. Oh, it's after I close it out. It starts to do that BS. Okay. I don't know that I want to fade this right into the open. I don't want to be the only idiot on YouTube, short in the market. But that's the trade. Same mean reversion style play. There's really nothing up above that I'm trading off of, right? Looking left, the last pieces of price action are all the way over here from beginning of March. I think if we crack that, we're coming all the way up here. So this isn't a terrible trade. Right back down towards VWAP, towards this higher volume node here. It's aggressive. It's counter to the entire movement. I'm not a big fan of it, and I think I'm just gonna forego it. But that would be the trade. It's already starting to play out here. That would be the trade. As you guys know, I'm not trading a continuation off of NYSE Open. That's not my play here on YM. It's a mean reversion trade. This would be it, right? Let's say we took it right here. We can watch it be paper traded. If we push a little bit higher, if we get a little pop to the upside, I might try it. Here would be the 1-to-1 for $1,000. Already starting to play out. Back down towards VWAP, back down towards this somewhat of an area of high volume, but if there's ever a time to forego a really aggressive mean reversion trade that's short, it's when the market's moved an insane amount on news, overnight. But we'll see. We'll see. As far as a continuation style trade, I don't know that we get big movement. If we got a nasty pullback, I would look long into it, right? I would try to look long into it, maybe on something like NQ, which I'm I'm trading more aggressively. Ooh, which we're starting to get. Coming down pretty heavy on NQ, and it's not that big. NQNES. Let's see. Are they going to bounce at VWAP? I think that's the question. Chat. Crazy, though. Crazy markets, man. Absolutely crazy markets. Good morning, all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Purple Ninja, what's up? Jake, what's up? Van, what's up? Remember when session sweeps was all it took for a good trade? No multi-level volatility. All new BS. Yeah. Yeah, it's completely different. It's very different. You know, like the really calm sweeps of pre-market highs and lows and, you know, going for just little liquidity grabs. That stuff is very different. This is a big moving higher time frame, you know, playing out market. And it's on headline. It's on headlines. Morning. Pure manipulation by Big Hand. Sebastian, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Morning, Blue Water Cruiser. What's up, Chris? What's up, Maritime Trades? What's up, JR? JN. Yeah, dude. Like, picture the dudes that, picture their team that knew that this was coming. Picture the dudes that knew that the ceasefire was coming. You know, even like, you know, you don't think they had an idea that they weren't going to bomb everybody, right? Like, you know, picture everybody involved in that circle. What did that trade? How easy is that of a trade? You know, even in here, you're like, you know, run at no stop loss because it's going to go up, right? We're not going to war. What a play, dude. What I would give to be a fly on that wall. You know, again, like, this is hindsight. This is hindsight, but I was heavier long. I was heavier long here, especially yesterday. I didn't mind it because it felt like that. It felt like that manipulation, right? A little bit. It felt like that chop that we're not going to break out. We're actually going to drift lower, right? We're going to put lows in for NYSE, and then we're going to get bought right back up, right? You know, price is going to get driven lower by, you know, a few hundred points, and then we're going to get all the big hands getting positioned right into the close, and then heavy on the way up, and then everyone and their mother long, you know. But again, you know, calling it or talking about it, like I always say this, and I see a lot of kids talk about it. Everyone likes to talk about it. If you didn't make money on it, it don't matter, right? Your trading is about making money on it. I can't tell you how many people I see that are experts at calling price. That's what they talk about it. I call price live. What good is that, bro? That doesn't help anybody. You know how difficult it is, right? Paper trading, everybody's a god. Everybody's a genius. We all got it figured out, right? You know what I want to see? Did you swing longs overnight session? Did you get long with a wide enough stop somehow to position this? Did you take it on the way back up? You know, that's what's impressive, right? You know, that's the tough stuff. So, the new age way of kids talking is like, it's the old like smart money scam. The ICT boys, not to give everybody a shot, but they love talking about price. Love talking about, you know, their setups playing out. Did you make money on it or no, bro? You know, the answer for me is no. You know, no. Like I said, some higher time frame stuff, but no. That's the hard part, right? You know, having an idea of where the market's going to go, knowing whether it's going to go up or down, you know, when it might go up or down, none of that stuff gets you paid. Executing gets you paid. Executing gets you paid. Yeah, guys, so I'm looking at being the only psychopath on YouTube getting short here. Back towards VWAP on this. I'm not going to jump in just yet. These guys pull back down towards VWAP. You know, maybe NQ's the leader. These are the laggers. We're going to pull back. We're going to bounce here. I think a lot of people are going to be getting long off of VWAP or near VWAP. Going to really see that start to play out here. 25-point bounce on this 9:45 a.m. candle. It's opening up. I'm not taking anything just yet, but I'm going to try to find my way into a trade on YM. Again, off the open, it's a mean reversion style play. So we're gonna see. Again, this isn't a terrible way to structure risk. You know, if we blast off, we blast off. If we blast off today, which we're starting to do right here, dipping our toe outside of this high volume node one more time. I'm looking above this high right into these lows here for a short. Just gonna get this out of the way, guys. I like to run an arbitrary take profit. I'm zoomed way out on this one. Looking for a looking for that mean reversion trade off the open here on YM. Again, you know, oftentimes I don't take these after such aggressive movements, and you know, we still kind of get the same thing that plays out. I think I'm gonna run this one. I think I'm going to run this one, guys. I'll be the only psychopath getting short this market. How about that? We'll have some fun today. Whoa. TradingView was trying to do me a favor and tell me to get long. I'm way zoomed out because I was just trying to get this higher time frame view here. Let me dial this back in. I'm going to run this one short, guys. This give me my trade for the morning. Mean reversion style play on YM. I got to be honest. I don't have a ton of confidence in this. It is just so counter to the higher time frame movement. But I'm going to kick myself if I watch this play out for a quick pullback down towards VWAP. So I'm going to take it. I don't have a continuation play on this. I don't have another trade setting up, in fact, for the rest of the day. So I'm going to utilize this unit of risk on a short here, guys. That's going to be my play. I think that this was an ugly back and forth BS fill that TradingView gave me. Hang on. No, we're okay. Again, just an arbitrary take profit. I'd be looking for this right back in here, closer to that 1-to-1, just to pull back down to price action from this morning. But again, I don't have a trade. You know, you could get long on this and just super duper wide stop loss, right? Just run it to the moon. I think that would be idea number one on all of these. You know, maybe you took it on a pullback towards VWAP on NQ or ES or something like this. I'm going to go for this quick mean reversion, you know, style trade on the way back down here. And something I also wanted to start doing was marking my trades ahead of time, exactly where I entered them. So I could go back and make little videos on them. My stop level was 413. Let's just throw like close to a 1-to-1 on here. Cool. That's gonna be my play for right now, guys. Again, mean reversion style trade, same stuff that I'm always looking at. You know, breaking prior day high, breaking pre-market highs. This is stupid aggressive, really aggressive. Again, very counter to this. But you know, a couple things here. Number one, this is the setup. Just because we're in an insane, you know, blast off market from overnight session doesn't mean I'm not gonna put the trade on. And, you know, reason number two, I'm not going to get short up here. I'm not going to get long down here. So, you know, what am I doing here today, right? If I have a trade that's, you know, a decent setup for me, and I know that after this point, I don't have a setup, I'm just not being efficient with my unit of risk, right? Or units of risk. I'm just not being efficient. Later into the afternoon, if we start to get some nasty movement, I'd look at a swing style position, you know, maybe something in either this account, some of the other prop accounts. I'll get some scalpy trades in, some live accounts, you know, maybe for a longer term hold. There we go. We got a nice reaction here. But, you know, if I don't if I don't put this one on now, I'm not going to put anything on. And I want to put something on, right? If there's a setup. So, nice reaction so far. Immediate 100-point move in the direction of my trade. Let's see if we can get towards that 200-point level right down in here. Put me back into some profit. Take a W on the live stream with you guys today. Again, really counter, guys. Really aggressive. I always try to discuss the other side of my trade. Valid, right? Which is why it's on. But aggressive, right? I don't think you're going to see a lot of people shorting this market today. It's just, that's my idea. So let's see if we can't get a little bit more of a pullback in on this. Can't complain though with an immediate 100-point move into profit. Show me 500 bucks on one mini. Do we have to come right back through these highs? We came right back into these pre-market highs here. Dipped down. That's not enough for me. I'm looking for a little bit of a further move down here. You know, again, closer to that 1-to-1 risk structure. Not that that's exactly the setup for me on this. A push down in here. Pop some stops for the late longs, right? This would be really nice all the way back to VWAP, but I don't need that. I definitely don't need that. Just a little dip down in here. This is, you know, again, mean reversion style trade, very counter trend. I'm not aiming for a huge reversal, right? You know, that's not the play here. Nice reaction out of this. Very nice reaction out of this. Let's go. Somebody said 50 watching, 21 likes. Math ain't mathin'. Let's go. Smash the like button, man. Let's get it. We're about to catch another W on the live stream. I'm on an absolute heater on these live streams. Like I said, you could probably hear it in my voice. I'm pulling up a little bit disappointed that I wasn't able to put big risk on last night. They didn't make it easy. They didn't make it easy, man. And, you know, everybody says they like there's, you know, some group behind it. But they didn't make it easy. Market sold off, right, yesterday, all the way towards the close. Popped at the open. Big gap up. And then a nasty clean out before the move. Like, you would have had it yesterday. You know, I don't think getting long on that first 1 minute candle would have paid you. I really don't. You would have had to have it from yesterday through session changeover, which you cannot do at prop firms, and you would have needed a lot of margin to do that. Margin requirements were increased last night across at least the futures broker that I trade with. You know, it's heavy to hold positions overnight, and maybe you traded the overnight session after the news started to break. You scalped it to the upside, but that's not easy to do. But let's see if we can't pull up and get another $1,000 on the live stream, man. Let's see what we can do. But yeah, I would have liked that. I would have liked that to be a big day yesterday. I really would have liked that to be a big day yesterday. So we got to trade on. I'm probably the only psychopath short the market after yesterday's price action. Not looking for a move down here. Again, guys, this is just an arbitrary take profit. It could be, you know, it could be all the way down here for I care. I'm going to look for a crack closer to VWAP. Right into this level would be pretty nice. Down below this price action here. A little bit more of a high volume node down here. That would give me a decent W on this. Give me a decent W on this. Yeah, right back in here closer to VWAP would be pretty sweet. Let us see. Good morning. Did well today. Hey, you know what? You guys will talk about likes. Oh, I haven't done this in a while. Here's what we'll do. I haven't done this in a while. We'll set a like goal for you. I'll give out an account at 100 likes if you hit that. There we go. We'll pin that. Account giveaway at 100 likes. You're going to have to be in Discord for it. Let me do this. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, Chatty McChat chat. Hang on one second, Chatty McChat chat. All right. We're going to do a giveaway at 100 likes. I haven't done one of those in a while. Someone was, that's, who said it? Miss K. There you go. Nobody was hitting the like button. Now, if you guys want a giveaway, you can smash the like button. We got 50 people, 53 people here on YouTube. We got another, few dozen across other streaming platforms, Kick, X. If you guys are on there, you could say what's up as well. But 100 likes on YouTube will run it. We've got, just for you guys that go, oh, I only have 50 people. How can we get 100 likes? People cycle on and off. We've had almost 200 people on the live stream here this morning. If everybody hit the like button, we'd have 200 likes. So, anyway, we'll run that. If you want to get another giveaway, I run giveaways all over the place, guys, in case you guys don't know. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the show. Free 99, giveaways everywhere. In the Discord right now, I got a brand new giveaway running for another 550K eval accounts. It's the Code RDF giveaway. If you want to learn about that, you want to hear about that, you want to get a chance at some more giveaways, links in Discord. I also run giveaways on X. I did 2 yesterday, each for 2 accounts. I got giveaways on IG. I got giveaways in Discord outside of that. We do giveaways like we're going to do today on the live stream. All over the place, man. Don't beg me about it. Don't bother me about it. If you want a chance to win some, please feel free to hop in the 100% free trading Discord where I'll always keep you guys updated. Always keep you guys updated. The basics of that one is use code RDF at any of the partner firms that I work with, and you're going to get a chance to win an account. Every purchase of an account gets you an entry to win 1 of 5. It's going to run for 1 week. But all the details are in Discord on that one. For this one here, if we hit 100 likes, I'm going to drop a form in Discord, so you're going to have to be in Discord. I'll drop a form in Discord, and we'll run some ducks here. We'll pick somebody randomly. No purchase necessary. Talking about this trade, I am short from 48,214 on YM. I really don't like how much of a divergence we got here. These boys sold off aggressively. YM didn't. I got my mean reversion trade rolling on YM here. These look like they want to find buyers at VWAP, and it looks like YM doesn't even want to get close. It just wants to dip its toe right back in and then come back up. I'm going to hang on to this one for now. Again, I don't love the stop loss to break even play. It didn't help me yesterday. It almost never helps me, but believe it or not. This one didn't move enough for me really to pull it. I will say it does look like we want to catch some more buyers and go and try these highs again. I don't have a lot of room above this high. Trade's still valid. We really didn't pull back to the area that I need to see us pull back to call it a mean reversion style trade. Closer to VWAP without even hitting it on a day like today, I think is reasonable. But down into this area here. Not even these highs from the overnight session. Not even all the way down into this high volume area. But outside of this high volume node a little bit more. Like to the low end of this. Right to the low end of this. A little bit further out of that candle would have done it. But we put our trades on without reservation or hesitation, in the wise words of Mark Douglas, and we let them play out. Trading's a game of inches, and sometimes the inches are going to be on your side, sometimes they're not. Morning, Kobe Clark. I was long NQ last night for the overnight. Oh my gosh, dude. How'd you run it, Kobe? Did you run it in a beautiful, by the way? Kobe says he got long. Did you run in a live account, I'm assuming? You were long from... Oh, no. You were long here 20... There we go. You were long 25. You were up here. Okay. Yeah. I got you. You were late to the party, but you made it work. Beautiful, dude. Nice. Nice. Very nice, Kobe. What's up? What's up, guys? I'll kick. No, not the whole thing. Gotcha. Asia Open took 150 points for Gus Payout this morning. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Let's see. We were looking at some people in chat. Hang on. Just leave this up for you guys. Let me put this on screen as well. Me throw the big text on screen for those of you guys that are watching with no volume. Giveaway at 100 likes must be in the free Discord. Link in chat. Bam. There we go. Now for you guys that are watching with volume off, you could be part of the giveaway as well. And again, we got more giveaways rolling in Discord. The code RDF giveaway. You want to be part of that, hop in the free Discord. Bunch of fun stuff rolling, man. Bunch of fun stuff rolling. Let's see what we got today here, man. Again, I'm kind of low energy, man. I'm kind of low energy because I know what it is also, guys. For those of you guys that missed it, I'll talk to you guys in chat as well. For those of you guys that missed it, I had a nasty long on NQ last week. It was an overnight session long. It was actually bigger than I thought. I mismarked it on my chart. The way that Tradeovate, when I went back to look at exactly where my entry and exit was, after I stopped myself out, it was actually bigger on the second trade. But it was a $12,000 day. It was like 500 points on NQ, on an NQ mini in my top one live account. And what happens is, right, after you have that can quickly become the expectation. That can quickly become the well, now I deserve to catch every one of those moves, right? So not being part of this when I was part of this, where was it? Was it this? Haha, when I was part of this, I was long from in here, guys. I actually caught a short right here. And then long from in here, right? I'm going to try not to be the kid from high school that's remembering something, all the way into, where's NYSE open? Here. Here was my closeout. Roughly, something along these lines with the closeout into NYSE session. A 15-hour hold, right? So having been part of that, and then missed this bad boy over here, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed in myself. But, you're not going to catch every movement in the market. It's just part of it. This was for me, though. This one was for me in live accounts. And, I would have liked to be more prepared about that. Again, I'm going to try to not complain. I had that trade last week, at a big trade last week. I took multiple payouts almost every single week for as long as I could remember this year. 25 payouts in the Top 1 Futures live account. Multiple payouts across multiple other firms this year. Top Step, Lucid, Take Profit Trader. I'm factoring more of those in. So it's hard to just try to be greedy and want it all, right? But, my skill level is catching up. It's breaking out. And I really want to be able to leverage it, even better. And, this was something to review. I'm not going to keep going on about it. But this was really something to review. I was pissed off and over trading, trying to scalp it, last night. But this really stuck out to me to say, you weren't gonna get the whole move, right? But you weren't gonna get most of this move unless you were holding through session changeover. You really were not gonna get it in here, right? If I tried, which I didn't, right? I saw it up here. I saw it up here after session changeover. I watched it. What's the best I would have done, right? What's the best I would have done? Long in here, right? Why would I have ran a 1,500 tick stop loss, 1,000 tick stop loss? I wouldn't have, with a max risk on one mini on NQ, which is probably what I would have done. This would have been a $3,000 stop out, right? So where was this, for everybody in here? Somewhere in here yesterday. Same thing on YM. Not to harp on this, but, this was something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Where was this? It was holding from in here, right? What did this look like out here? Almost double my normal stop loss, which is wide to begin with. So anyway, that's the thought process. It's going to be a little bit of journaling, reviewing, but there's only so many of those I'm going to miss. I'm going to tell you right now, chat. But let's see what we had going on. You guys are some good questions. We were yapping in chat. Morning, Zach. Hope you're doing well. I'm done for the day. I don't like choppy. FOMC has a lot of manipulation, which is why previous night was big. I took 12 micro short on NQ after NQ bounce. Cool. Nice. Gotta stop the break even on ES. Got you. I don't even think I have X. Yeah, I don't have TikTok either, but yeah. Zach, how do you add volume profile to your charts? Let's talk about it. How do you add volume profile in your charts? 2 volume profiles here. This one is session volume profile, SVP on TradingView and other platforms. This one is visible range volume profile. You got a little bit of volatility coming in here, guys. Hang tight. But that's what both of these are. This is session volume profile, visible range volume profile. Just ask me again, Yassine, in 5 minutes after we maybe catch a win or a loss on this real quick. And I'll give you the settings. Pretty much standard settings. I have videos on YouTube as well, man, if you want to just watch one of those. Yes, sir, if we look up session volume profile. Yeah. We talked about that. Good morning. I always say that winning big 1, 2, 3 time, 3, even 10 times early in a trading career is horrible. Agreed. I didn't have that. Winning really early in your trading career, having absolute windfall trades early on, is a death sentence, in my opinion. It's going to kill you. I've watched so many traders on X over the last year. Huge traders. We're talking $100,000 prop firm payouts that were just, capitalizing on some market movement that was not going to be sustainable. And they blow up. They just blow up, man. It's a shame. But I didn't have that. I was just a slow bleed, if you want to know, honestly. I was a slow bleed, just straight shot. Not straight shot, but nice 45-degree sloping angle. Very consistent with risk management, just the exact opposite equity curve that you want for a long period of time. Then I started to balance that out. A lot of traders are straight shot to the moon and then all the way down to zero. And they continue that back and forth. It's a different journey for a lot of traders. Damn, man, we got a little bit that looked like we wanted to follow through on buyers off of VWAP here. That was the same chart that I'm on. I'm going to keep reading the chat. Pick out some good questions from you guys here. Yeah, man, I really don't want to clip this. I'm not going to have another setup. I'm just not going to have another one. We come through the highs, I'm wrong. If we blast off, right, it's just a move to the upside, which we absolutely could get today. We pull back in. That's my trade. It's my mean reversion trade. So I'm going to hold on to this for now, guys. I'm going to hold on to it. If it goes back to your initial position, will you make it go break even or no? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, MJ. It depends on how it gets there and what happens here. You know, as of right now, no, I would let it go all the way to stop me out. Again, I talked about holding a trade yesterday. I stopped myself out at break even, which didn't help me. It would have been a winner. But I talked about closing a trade out for small profit. And I always get different comments, right? Everybody has a different way to, you know, to think about something. Yesterday, what did the person say? If you're a professional, he said that would be the professional thing to do or something. And I disagree, right? First off, I'm not a professional. I'm a regular idiot. And I'm sure the person commenting that is not a professional either. Very few people are actually... I don't even know what the designation for a professional trader is. Is it if you trade full-time? Is it if you make a certain amount of money? I don't know. Anyway, what you should do is individual to you. It's based on your data, right? When you go stop loss to break even, and this is the simplest way to talk about it, but this is our job as a trader. When you go stop loss to break even on your trades, after they move 100 points in your favor, what happens over the next 50 trades? What happens? Do you get stopped at break even on majority of them and then they move in your favor? Or do you get stopped at break even on majority of them and they move against you, right? For me, and this is not gonna be the same for everybody, for me, stop loss to break even hurts me more than it helps me the vast majority of the time. More often than not, after I enter a trade, if it comes back to break even and stops me out, it continues in the direction of my trade. Not to say that it will never do this, which it might today, but it happens over a large sample size more often that this happens, if it comes back to break even to begin with, right? So you have to decide that for yourself. Now, I find that if a trade gets very close to a take profit level, the farther it moves in my direction and then comes back through my entry, the more likely it is to continue all the way to my stop out, right? That's just market generated information. If the thing moves, a huge, 400 points in my direction and then all the way back through the highs, that's probably, maybe that's an indication that we pulled back and we bounced the VWAP, we're going to push to the upside, right? But as a whole, for me, stop loss to break even doesn't help me. It hurts me more than it helps me. There's certain reasons that I'm more inclined to do it than others. A lot of volatility, maybe being extremely counter trend like I am today. Price action and structure, how far price moves in the direction, what happens, right? That's where the discretion comes in of when I might go stop loss to break even or not. But as a whole, I'm really not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan of it. Based on my data, right? Just based on my data. Same thing with clipping trades early. I have $500 on the table right now, right? I find that more often than not, after I close trades for 100 points, they move 200 points rather than 300 points against me, right? That's just reviewing your trades, just roughly, right? Trading for long enough, having an understanding of your approach, your style, and then going from there. I'll finish with this thought. For the most part, you can tell if what you're doing is the right thing or the wrong thing by this one indicator. For the most part, if it feels good to do, if it's easy to do, if it's pleasurable to do, it's usually the wrong thing. It's almost always the wrong thing, right? What feels good in the market? Not putting a stop loss in, moving your stop loss farther away, adding to a losing position, going stop loss to break even really quickly, making it a risk-free trade, right? Clipping a trade very quickly as soon as it moves into profit. These are all almost always the exact opposite of what you need to do if you want to make money, right? And it's what I did for a long period of time, what most traders do. What do most traders struggle with? Holding their winning trades, putting risk on, and then allowing that trade room to breathe and run in their direction, right? Most traders are losing money, and most traders are doing the things that I just mentioned. So stop loss to break even too quickly is one of those. You're constantly stopping yourself out of winning trades, and then you're constantly letting losing trades run all the way to stop loss, right? You're probably not stopping yourself at break even after being in drawdown, right? So why are you doing that after it moves in profit, right? And shows you that you're moving correctly. So, in general, for beginners on here, for people that are trading, the markets are this fantastic beast where we are hardwired. All of the things that keep us safe and protect us against, risk and the logical things are the exact opposite of what we need, almost the exact opposite of what we need in the markets. And we need to retrain our incorrect human hardwiring to do things that make logical sense for this very illogical, random, difficult to comprehend game of probabilities that we're playing. So, you know, when you are finding yourself doing something that feels easy, that feels good, that you're inclined to do, it's almost always, especially starting out, the wrong thing. And if you could try to flip that on its head, you know, you might be able to make some progress. So again, not that stop loss to break even is wrong for everybody, not that adding into a loser is wrong for everybody. Look at your data. You know, the overarching theme here is review your data, right? What does your data say? And then trust your data. Try to make small incremental changes to do more of what would have paid you more, right? That's all we could do. So for me, for right now, I have full risk on. This is a $1,000 stop loss out here. You know, I'm going to leave that. We could get more information right now and we could rip. I don't think this is a great invalidation point. I think we could easily pop back up here, come back into this wick, test these highs again, test these highs up here, and then come right back down. So it's not logical to me to stop myself out at break even here if I would still want to be short here. I don't want to be short here anymore. This is where I say, okay, you're wrong. Your stop loss is here. You know, this is the invalidation point. This was a long play where, you know, we're another, you know, 200 points past your entry to the opposite direction. You're wrong. You know, that's where my stop loss is. That's where my invalidation point is. Going stop loss to break even here is you know, it's not, doesn't make sense to me. So no, I'm looking for this trade to continue. Again, I'm not looking for a huge movement. Somebody asked if I was targeting VWAP. I can see that on the bottom. Yeah, VWAP's been creeping up. And so, yeah, technically this is going to be a close to VWAP style trade. Yeah, really looking for it right in here. Really looking for right in here. Just to come outside of this high volume node here, pull back, shake out some weak longs. VWAP would not be a bad spot here on YM, in my humble opinion. This is not going to be a day where I think I'm going to look to hold through VWAP as these guys are breaking it and YM is above. Not that I trade them all in correlation. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Can we grab 200 points? Can we grab 200 points? Yeah, I'll take it above VWAP. Happily above VWAP. Right in here. What is this? Yeah, close to that 48,000 evens. That's a beautiful target. To me, at least. That's a good target to me. Right in here. Yeah, a little bit above the 48,000 evens, so we're not looking to hold through that round psychological number. Something right along these lines. Man, buyers are not going to let this thing dip. Buyers are not going to let this thing dip, eh? No. Yeah, this doesn't look good, guys. That does not look good at all. You can tell me getting quiet there. We got that momentum to the downside and then immediate momentum back up. I don't like that at all. That, you know, any one of these might be all we have to do before we start a slow grind to the upside. Coming into 10:30 a.m. Eastern, we start to get back towards these highs. I'm really not going to like it. Man. Let's see, chat. Let's see what we get, man. Can we grab the Dubsky? Could we grab the Dubsky? 160 points of profit. Only having to take 48. Not a bad entry. Not a bad trade so far. Can I capitalize on it? Or is it going to be another repeat of yesterday where I have $1,000 on the line that and I don't grab it? I don't have $1,000 on the line yet today, but I haven't grabbed it. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about stop loss break even, volatility on ES. Yeah, watching that. Yeah, smash the like button. Johnny's trying to go for the like button for sure. Made it to a live account on my very first prop account. Lasted 2 days. Yeah. We were talking about early windfall, trades, right? It doesn't. Here's what happens, and a lot of books talk about this, psychology books, because it's an interesting phenomenon. What happens is usually one of two things. And this is the psychology part around trading that's so interesting, right? We're talking about traders doing the wrong thing. What happens to you, your results, which are random, right? Or starting out, what happens to you really influences how the rest of your trading career progresses. And I've seen it before. You usually have either one of three things. You come to the market as a complete beginner and you put risk on. And if you're a little bit later in life, the way that I was, if you have money already, you understand, the value of money, you have pretty good risk management skills from outside life, you probably are going to slow bleed for a while. You're not going to make money. You're going to go back and forth, but you're not going to have this big blow up or big win. The option number two is you have a huge blow up, you just immediately lose money, or a huge win, right? You come in with no risk structure, right? Maybe you're earlier in life. You don't understand anything. You put a trade on with way too much risk in a live account, in a prop account, and you run it up, right? When that happens, you actually have all of the right tools that you need from a psychology perspective, but none of the skill set of trading and managing risk. None of the reading of the market, the understanding of actually trading, but you're confident. You have the ability to hold trades to infinity because why wouldn't you? You're not afraid to put trades on at all. You're not fearful. You actually have the winning trader's mindset, but you don't have the skill set to back it up. And usually what that generates, sometimes it's a string of wins just by sheer dumb luck. But then, of course, a huge blow up. They never hold on to it. I've never seen a single person start and just run it up from the beginning. I've just never. And those guys, usually, guys and girls, usually end up trying to chase that. They're chasing the dragon. They made $100,000 from nothing on day one, and they lost it all, and they just cannot slow themselves down. But honestly, it does set you up with a little bit of the right mindset that you need. But I've watched so much of that with prop firms, so much of that. Guys that have these huge, guys and girls, huge windfall profits, massive. They go on huge winning streaks. And of course, they haven't been trading for 6 months, right? And, how does that end up? They usually disappear. They don't go anywhere, right? So, be cautious of that early on. What I'd say is you need to develop the right mindset and the skills and the risk management to support it. But even as a whole, we're usually predisposed. Here we go, man. Can we catch the Dubski here? Looking for a little bit more out of this one, guys. Little bit more out of this one here. I want to see this nice crack lower. I'm not running a fixed take profit down here. I'm going to manually close out by closing the position. Watching this on Bookmap. We are trying to creep lower here. I'm looking for a really nice clean out move to the downside. Oh, beautiful. 48,000 evens. Got some liquidity. Let's see if we can get it here. Nice. Looking to take this one off down here, guys. I'm going to do this so I don't have to click two buttons at the same time. I could just close it from in here. Watching Bookmap over here on the left-hand side, which is faster than TradingView. Can Can we get that clean out down towards the 48,000 evens? Are we going to bounce here? It's going to pull the same crap as yesterday, huh? Again, guys, haven't closed the position out. I don't have one-click trading on, so if I'm going to manually close, it's a faster way for me to do it. Oh, dude, are we going to come out of this without hitting 48,000 evens? Come on. Nice stack of liquidity here on YM. I'm trying not to clip my winning trades early, but this is another repeat of yesterday. We're gonna bounce. We're gonna bounce down here. ES headed back up to grab liquidity up above. What are we doing, dude? What are we doing here? Why? Why are we not going to go grab this? Here we go. Come on, bro. Come on, YM. Do that thing you do. I'm not going to mess with this. I'm taking it right here, guys. I'm taking 940 bucks. I'm out. I'm not going to mess with this. I think we get a nice knife all the way down through VWAP, but I can't stomach it today. I can't. I know that I can't. And here's part of trading. Here's the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. I'm out. I'm out for 935 or 40, whatever that number was. Oh, hang on. I hit it. Let me go back here. Nice. Here's a final take profit if you really wanted to hold on to something. That. I'm out here. I'm out right here. Let's move that up a little bit. I'm out right here. Here's a final take profit all the way through VWAP. I think we get this. I can't stomach it today. I just know I can't. So here's a part of trading that people don't like to talk about, right? We're not machines, okay? I don't care how long you've been trading for. I don't care if you've been doing this for 15 years and you make hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, I talk to traders that have been trading that long and make, you know, those types of money, right? And I watch what they do. They know themselves. They know themselves. They know they have mental capital. They know they're not machines. They know they have a limit in their emotional regulation. And they know that watching something happen on the chart after how things have been going for you can start to push you, can start to test you, right? I know myself. After a little bit of frustration yesterday, although I did catch a $1,000 W here, missing this, just not being part of a huge movement that I would have liked to be part of. I would like to hold this to VWAP. I'd like to hold it all the way down here. I think that's a fine thing to do on another day, and then maybe let it all the way come back. I know that if it shows me $1,000 in profit today, right? I don't close out because I'm holding for, not that much more, right? Another 50 points, 100 points, and that comes back on me to stop me out. I'm going to be mad. I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be having a good time. So there's the exact perfect thing to do that's logical to the market, and there's what you can actually achieve, right? There's what you could actually achieve. So for me, that's the W today. 900, there we go. 940 bucks. Trading live with you guys, man. We'll see. We'll see if this thing continues lower. I think we're going to get a nice wick in here. Here's VWAP. Beautiful. I think like a final take profit down in here, close to this high volume node would be pretty sweet. Nice little peak. Maybe like right in here. But there's VWAP. Very nice. Very, very nice. No complaints, man. No complaints. No complaints. But that's the high level stuff. That's the high level stuff, right? You get your system down. You get your entries and exits down. Then there's the discretion. Then there's the discretion that comes in, right? But another W, man. Listen, we are on an insane win streak here, guys. Absolutely insane win streak for the live sessions. Like, it's been break even or win. I can't even remember the last time I took a full stop out here with you guys. Outside of scalping NQ like a crazy person, you know, on some sim accounts. But absolutely beautiful, man. Nice to catch this. Digging myself out of a little bit of a drawdown from last night. Right? Talked about that. But beautiful, man. This edge, man, on YM. I'm thankful. I'm thankful to whoever up there laid this one out for me and gave me the tools to exploit it. So it's pretty sweet. Chat. W's in the chat, man. W's, man. Yeah, smash the likes, bro. We'll run some giveaways. I got some other stuff to talk about. I'm not going anywhere just yet, guys. But just took a W on this one. No complaints here. Sweet Zach, good. Yeah, appreciate you, man. New subscriber, enjoying the way you talk through this emotional roller coaster, for sure. Yeah, nobody wants to really talk about that. Nobody really wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about the model. They want to talk about, look at where the inverse fair value gap was, guys. Look at the support and resistance, and here's the magic tool that you need to use. Bookmap tells you where... Come on, bro. You've been watching it. You've all been watching it, right? You making money yet? What's the difference? What's the difference? The difference between me, the version of me now that makes money, and the version of me that was losing money consistently, it's not the tools. It's really, it's experience. But it's not experience finding out some different tool that I used on my chart. It's not what it is, man. It's the way that you think about trading. It's the mindset and psychology. It really is. And I know it's this big broad thing that people like to talk about where it's like, you know, whoa, it's this foo-foo like BS. It's what I'm talking about right here. It's how I'm talking about viewing the market today and being aware of my emotional regulation, being very self-aware, the way that I'm thinking in this trade, and the if-then statements, and then acting on those with discretion. Utilizing your discretion within reason, right? Being able to understand probabilities. That's the difference. I really think it's those two big things. Experience on the charts. You cannot buy chart time. No matter how much you want to, you cannot shortcut it. It's like going to the gym. Yeah, maybe you could hop on gear and steroids and CRT. You're still going to have to go to the gym. You're still going to have to spend time lifting weights, right? Yeah, you could pay for mentorship. You could pay for every special tool, Bloomberg Terminal, Live Squawk, all the best stuff. You're still going to have to trade. You're still going to have to do the work. But past that, what separates the best traders from everybody else? It's not that they're smarter. It's not that they have a higher IQ. It's not that they've been trading even all of the time longer. Most of the time they have been, the experience part. It's not a special tool or an indicator that you don't know about yet. I promise you guys, I promise you. It is the way they think about the markets. It's the understanding of probabilities, the randomness on the short term, the consistency on the long term, the way they think about risk, right? And the way that they've self-regulated and they understand, they're extremely emotionally aware and aware of their, discipline levels, what they can and can't do, and how they exercise that on the charts, right? That's the difference. That's the difference. Hopefully that sauce helps, guys. Are you using value area high to sell and value area low to buy? No. No, I'm not using value area high to sell, to buy and sell. No. I use volume profiles in conjunction with price action market structure, paying attention to high volume nodes and low volume nodes to identify key areas of potential support and resistance, supply and demand, order blocks, just horizontal levels on the chart. That's what I do from a higher time frame perspective, right? From a higher time frame perspective. Actually, let me just do this. High volume nodes, high volume nodes, high volume nodes. We got some levels in here, right? High volume nodes, really high volume node up here, right? Marking those out with some discretionary levels all the way down to the 15-minute chart, right? Taking a look at visible range volume profile, high volume node in here, really key level I don't want to pay attention to. Top end of this high volume node, little bit of volume put in here. and then all the way down to the session volume profile, right? Where do we have volume forming, right? What does the profile look like? Where are our peaks and valleys, right? Our high volume nodes, our low volume nodes, and then, how is price moving in relation to that? That's how I use volume profile. Volume profile, market structure, price action, a little bit of order flow. And now, more so than ever, paying attention to the context of what the hell, the U.S. administration is saying, because that seems to be the only thing moving the market right now. Let me know if that answers the question. If it was as simple as sell at value area high and buy it at value area low, I wouldn't be here, right? I would just code that. We would walk away. It's not that simple, unfortunately. Lol, it is why I am here, not in front of my charts, knowing I will keep trading if I'm watching my charts. I get my fix watching you. I don't have to do over trading. Awesome, meatball sub. Yeah, awesome. Having emotions in check. Good Lord, typing my phone versus brain speed is horrible. That's funny. W's, yeah, man. We got another W, man. Got another W. Happy about that one. Settings for visible range volume profile. All right, guys, let's talk about it. Let's do the chart breakdown since you guys are asking for it. Smash the like button. We got 74 likes. A couple more. We'll run a giveaway. Also, if you guys are not in the free Discord, hop in the free Discord. We're going to run more giveaways in the Discord. More giveaways in Discord as well. Hang tight. Let me throw this in here. Bang. And we'll go over some chart setup. I'll give you guys my entire chart. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them now. I'll try to go through them while we're waiting for some likes. Kick, you guys have something, though. I should use the 2 weeks apiece to study other instruments. I hate those decisions moments where the option on move your SL and profit or close the trade. Yeah, it's tough. That's the nuanced stuff, right? That's why I was ranting a little bit this morning, right? I was saying that I'm going to look at volume profile, guys, but before I do, talking about price and where price is going to go, marking it up on a chart, even trading it with no risk on the line, is not worth anything to me or you or the person. It does not get you paid, right? That's not trading. That's talking about trading, right? I know that a lot of us watch that on social media, and unless you're executing, boys and girls, like I'm doing right here with you, it's not worth anything. Here's what would have been the final take profit for 328.6. I'm happy with being self-aware, and $1,640 rather than the $940. But I'm happy with being self-aware and recognizing that if we did not bounce here and we came back up, that would have left me with way too much frustration that I would want to handle today. So happy taking my trade where I took it. Let's talk about it. Volume profile, visible range volume profile, right? Here's what I got changed on this, guys. This bad boy right here. Yeah, see? This bad boy right here. Colors. I'll do it so you can go back and pause the video if you want. You can run it the exact same way. Point of control. Temporary volume point of control. Row size increased to give you really granular views of the volume profile as it's forming. Row size increased to 200 and everything else standard. Okay. Session volume profile. Same thing. Row size increased to 200. None of this craziness. Same thing on the colors. I don't think I touched the percent width of the box on this one. Okay. Standard inputs outside of the row size, which is just a, way it displays. Outside of that, I have not much else on my chart. VWAP, it's a pretty raw chart. Some people say I have a busy chart. I don't think so. VWAP, standard settings. Volume, down on the bottom. Standard settings. Growing and falling, marked as the same. Obviously, all my colors are pretty black and white. You can see my candlestick colors right in here. White and gray with all black borders and wicks. And then horizontal levels. Mostly coming off of higher time frames. Here's the magic levels that we trade off of, guys. Higher time frame zones, which are just rectangles that I have set to extend right here. Oh, no, right here. Okay. This bad boy right here. Whoa, nope. Questions, concerns, comments, hate speech. Please skip the last one. Let's see. We'll use big orders on bookmap as well as high volume nodes to use as stop placement, as in hide a stop on the other side of a high volume node. W. Kai Niels. That's a good question. So I pay attention to bookmap in a number of different ways. I won't do what you described there exactly. And I will say bookmap is secondary. I use it for intraday trading here on the US indices, you know, for New York session. ES is going to be a favorite to look at. Really what I'm doing is paying attention to where these levels are. And then that's it. I don't like to, and I kind of treat them the same as any support and resistance zone. I think it's really important to know that we've got a huge stack of orders up here at ES, right? Just like I think it's important to know that we have maybe no price action market structure on the chart, and I want to mark a support and resistance zone that we've tested multiple times and then, you know, bounced off of, right? But as far as what happens here, first, I think like any area of interest, I think we're likely to return to that area. And once we're at that area, I think we're likely to either reject really harshly or break above really harshly, right? You know, after maybe a fight is put up between buyers and sellers. But I don't create an insane narrative the way that so many do, you know, on bookmap. It's more just of additional levels, right? Obviously, I'm an area of interest trader, level to level. I use, you know, bookmap, order flow, price action, market structure, volume to identify those levels. And then I trade from those levels, right? To and from those levels. That's really it. Very, very simple discretionary trading. I really don't like candlestick patterns at all. I don't like chart patterns. They just don't provide a lot of statistical significance to me. I don't like waiting for a lot of confirmation. I like to just, my confirmation is mostly reading price action as far as the individual candlestick that's forming, and, you know, maybe a little bit of bookmap if I'm trading with bookmap, which I am here today with you guys. But not like a, you know, long wick engulfing hammer candle. That's what I wait for. Or, you know, some, you know, whatever kind of, you know, head and shoulders, double top, you know, whatever candlestick or chart pattern you want to wait for. Hopefully that provides some insights. As we are chilling, these are good questions, man. Throw questions in the chat. We got really good questions, man. Took a W today, continuing the live, I will say win streak, but also break evens in there. Win streak of not losing money. W on YM, right? Here's the actual entry, initial take profit and stop loss orders. Caught a W. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna grab some water. Chat. What's up, guys? Damn, they're really gonna dump it today. Dude, this is nasty work. Hold on, what happened to my music? This is nasty work, dude. I gotta look at this with you guys. Nasty work, man. Sell off at the open for NYSE yesterday, right? Ahead of what we got going on. Run stops, right? Take everybody, not everybody, but pop some stops that are positioned long in here, right? Put the low in. Run it up right into the close, but not that much. Not that much. Gap this thing. I gotta show you the 1 minute because the 15-minute doesn't do it justice. Effing gap to the upside. Gap to the upside from the close to the high of this first 1 minute candle, 1%. Consolidate. If you got long in here, I don't know how you survived. Rip faces off to the downside. Volatility to the downside. Almost 1,000 ticks, 250 points on NQ. And then run it. Run it up. Absolutely run it up. And then NYSE session. Once everybody wakes up and goes, oh man, the market's ready to go. Here we go, guys. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm out. Oh man. This market, man. This market. Honestly though, it's starting to almost get like predictable because it's like the exact opposite, right? It's almost like, no, it's not gonna play out like that, right? It's not gonna be so predictable that they're talking about blowing everything up, and then, that's probably not gonna happen, hopefully not gonna happen. And then when it doesn't, right before it's about to not happen, they sell off a bit. And then right before it happens, everybody gets positioned long. And then right as it happens, it rips everybody's face off to the downside, blasts higher. Okay, move happens. Overnight session. And then for New York, it just sells off again. Like, it's almost like if you were just like, what's the most like obvious opposite thing to happen, man? Absolutely ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, we had some good questions. Listen, guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button. We have... Where's my little thing? What happened? Hit the like button if you want. Somebody brought it up in chat. Somebody said you guys weren't hitting the like button. So I usually don't do this, but we're doing it today. I'm going to keep it interesting. We'll do a giveaway at 100 likes. If you guys don't hit 100 likes, hop in Discord. We'll run some giveaways, later, whatever it is. You're going to have to be in Discord. Hop in the free Discord. Also, if you want more giveaways, we got more running in Discord. The baseline of this one is use code RDF at Top 1 Futures or any firm that I'm partnered and affiliated with. And you will be entered to win one of 5 50K accounts. This is going to run for a week. Not only is code RDF going to get you the best deals, it's going to get you an entry to win some accounts. You say, hey, I'm dead broke, Zach, and I want a no purchase necessary giveaway. Cool, hit the like button, and maybe we run one of those also. You can also follow on X and IG, where I run separate giveaways there as well. Giveaways all over the place. Love giving back to you guys. So long as nobody, threatens to, a whole bunch of stuff and, my socials get messed up because people are mad that they don't win the free giveaways. So, that's what we got rolling today here, guys. If you want to check out... Yeah, hop in Discord for everything. That's the only link I'm going to post today. Hop in Discord for everything, guys. You're sleeping if you're not in Discord. And again, code RDF. Here we go. Boom. Now, for you guys that are sleeping. Let's read the chat. Let's read the chat. I love the way you use VWAP. To me, it's a leash that tends to pull price back to it. Mean reversion. Appreciate the knowledge sharing here, Zach. Cheers. Absolutely. 30 MD 30. Yeah, that's the way that I think about it. VWAP is volume weighted average price, right? So exactly what it sounds like. Volume weighted average price set to a specific point. So for the session, this is giving you who's in control. It's telling you who's making or losing money. And it's also giving you an average price. It's this dynamic point on the chart. And outside of what it's supposed to do and supposed to be, it's obviously watched by everyone and their mother, including all of the big firms and hedge funds and algos, right? And it does act like a key area of resistance. Maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like one of those things that happens just because everybody's expecting something to happen, so something happens. But it's an important thing, right? I think, there's a reason it's on everybody's chart. I look at it, again, similarly to the way that I look at volume profile, right? Where are the high volume nodes? Where is the business being done? I think we're likely to return to those levels and then potentially create trends to and from those levels. I think we're likely to move quickly in between low volume nodes, right? Where business is not being done, where we've moved quickly in the past. Same thing with VWAP, right? I think we're likely to move to and from VWAP and then decide, like we are right now, to move below or catch a reaction off of. So, why is trading the most difficult way to make easy money? It's a good question. Why is trading the most difficult way to make easy money? Here's why. Trading is pretty much a no barrier to entry these days. Picture this. Trading is extremely difficult, right? Making money consistently is in the financial markets is extremely difficult. Almost nobody does it, just based on the stats. The same way, and I'm not comparing it to this, but just to draw an analogy, the same way that I'd say like being a heart surgeon is probably really difficult. I'm not saying trading is heart surgery or vice versa, but it's probably really difficult to like successfully complete open heart surgery, right? Here's the main difference between those two. In trading, you're able to walk up to the charts every day and deposit money at a broker with no requirements, no schooling, no experience, no understanding of anything, and try to make money trading. To be an open heart surgeon, you have to go through rigorous, insane medical school, right? And residencies, and then training and experience, and working on cadavers and probably pigs, and then having so many people that you are working side by side before you're ever able to, actually get in there, right? What if you just could walk in to do open heart surgery if the hospital was just open, and they said, hey, guess what, guys? You can make as much as a heart surgeon today if you can do open heart surgery. It probably would be like the hardest easy money that you could make, right? If you got it right, you'd make $1 million, but you're probably not going to get it right? Maybe you get lucky, and then you'd never get lucky again, which is what we were talking about earlier. But that's kind of, I think, why there's such a big failure rate for trading. I think it's the hardest easy money because it's not easy, but there's no barrier to entry. There's no qualification to put $1,000 on the line and click buy and watch it run to $10,000, right? That would imply that it's easy. It's not, right? It doesn't take anything to potentially get lucky. So, I think if you looked at trading, the failure rate of traders is insane, right? Most traders don't make it, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. All of these people are losing money. If you looked at the stat, if there was one, which there never will be, what percent of traders are losing money consistently that have been trading for 5 years or more and dedicate at minimum, 25 hours per week over the course of all of those 5 years, right? The number would probably go down considerably, right? But it's not. It includes everybody, including everybody today, day one, that opened up a Robinhood account as the market went crazy and bought, call options. They're all lost. They're all losing money. So, that's kind of the overarching, thought there. I think that's why it's the hardest easy money. We're almost there for the giveaway. You guys are almost there. These were the hardest shorts on NQ. Side by side candles, no go down, and nowhere at the same time. Lots of positioning building going on. Yeah. Yep. I don't have funds, that's why I'm here. And that's the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but really enjoy your vibes. Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate you, brother. You don't have to sugarcoat that or not. Most people don't have funds to trade. So, paper trade. don't put any money on the line. It's what most people should be doing, whether you have funds or not. One and done for this morning. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, these were not easy shorts, right? These were not easy shorts. I think you're going to see a lot of quiet traders and L's today. People getting long. One and done for me this morning. I took short on MES 2 contracts. Beautiful. I would suggest people to backtest FOMC days and previous nights for sure. For sure. I think that's a smart thing to do. We got minutes at 2 p.m. today. FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. today. Baron is printing. Cool. I don't know if that's like a... is that like a senator or something? So we're talking about nasty as Trump. Yeah, we're talking about... Oh, Baron Trump. Yeah. I knew where you were going with it. I just didn't know who exactly you were talking about. Yeah, dude. Insane. Like we talked about. Imagine getting the call. Hey guys, we're probably gonna have a ceasefire for 2 weeks. Bang. How long was it before you found your system and learned your edge? Yeah, it's not an easy answer there. It wasn't a clean, one day after, 2 years and 3 months, I was suddenly profitable. Long period of time. If you want to watch about it, go to Real Deal Futures, scroll down to the bottom, and I got a bunch of podcasts where I talk about my journey. But I won't bore you guys again today, telling the same story over and over again. RealDealFutures.com, bunch of links. It's pinned to the top of the chat where it says all links here. And yeah, watch some podcasts there. W's nice, Eric in 7,000 BTC, nice. Smash the likes. We're almost there. You guys are milking it. 93 likes. Remember, guys, we're gonna get ready to run a giveaway. It looks like you guys are gonna hit it. Smash the like button. You have to be in the Discord to get the form today. Okay, that's what we're doing. You're also gonna have to be following on IG. It's gonna be free, but you're gonna have to do those 2 things. Which all the info is on the form. But go ahead and get ready to get that one filled out. Was doing shorts, but bulls look too strong. The fight was real. I feel that. I feel that, y'all on Kick. I feel that. What's up, Kick? What's up, X? How we doing, guys? Almost ready as the market gave me 400 points today. Another one for not closing my trade early, guys. Another one for holding to the moon. Another one gets filed under go for 400 points instead of 200. Duck race, bro. Yeah, we're going to run a duck race. We're going to run the ducks. Remember, guys, not that you were asking, but I have to warn everybody. Because we turned into 2 weeks ago just an insane, like, everybody screaming about giveaways and fighting and arguing and a lot of negativity and hate. You don't have to ask for giveaways. We run on random days, random times. I have giveaways all over the place. If you want to find out about all the giveaways, always hop in Discord. I try to direct everybody there. Hey, I didn't understand the consistency rules after passing an account in Lucid. Your video said 40% consistency required. Some other videos tell different consistency. So, it depends on what you're trading, right? Depends on what you're trading. Trade for Learning 19. If you are trading an account with a 40% consistency rule, then you have a 40% consistency rule. If you're trading another account with a different consistency rule, you have a different consistency rule. I would read whatever rules for whatever prop firm you're trading. That's where I would go from there. If you don't understand how a consistency rule works, that's another question. It's no single day of profit can be larger than whatever the consistency rule is. 40% of total profit, for example, when you go to pass the account or request a payout, right? Really simple math. is a 50K account at most firms requires $3,000. And a lot of firms have a 50% consistency rule, or just for the sake of this conversation, we'll have a 50% consistency rule. That means you can't put up more than $1,500, right? When you go to pass the account. You can't do it all in one day. You can't make $2,000. You can't make $4,000, right? If you do that, you're going to have to make more money to lower that, percent consistency on that day. 100 likes. There we go, boy. Y'all ran it up today. Chat. Look at that. I'm actually mad, guys. Y'all over here leaving me with 20 likes on my videos. All I got to do is throw a giveaway up on the screen, and we run it up to 102, 104 likes. Damn, guys. I thought we were friends, yo. I thought we were boys. You guys need to get paid, huh? That's tough. Hang on one second. Giveaway form is going in Discord. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. It's going to go in giveaways because I have a new giveaways channel. Going to be active for 10 minutes. Closes 11. Let's say 14 a.m. All right. It's not how you spell instructions. Why is it not like spell checking me? What's up? All right, giveaway form is in Discord. Giveaway form is in Discord. Go ahead and get it filled out. Now everybody's tagged. You know what, guys? Listen, I'm tired. I'm tired of repeating the instructions. Here's the deal. All the instructions are on the form. If you don't follow the instructions, you don't get the account. I'm just gonna make it easy. If you don't follow the instructions, which are all clearly listed on the form, you don't get the account. If you break the rules, you do something bad, you get banned. But that's the deal. Oh, that's business. What's his IG? IG's on the form. Also, it's Real Deal Zach. But in case you want the IG, here it is in chat. Hold on, chat. I got you, chat. Don't worry. Instagram is in the chat. I missed the I on Instagram, but Instagram's in chat. It's Real Deal Zach everywhere, guys. I'll make it real easy for you. Real Deal Zach on Instagram, X, Kick, and YouTube. Technically, it's Real Deal Futures on YouTube, but if you Google Real Deal Zach, I'm grateful to have gotten big enough where Real Deal Zach pops up everywhere for everything. So, that is me. Give you guys about 10 minutes. Get rid of that. Giveaway form is live in the Discord. You guys have been having so much good conversations in the Discord as well, man. So many people contributing. We got a ton of people that are going to get ranked up, be part of even more giveaways. Again, I'm always bouncing around doing different stuff. Damn, let me see. Yasir took the shorts. Woohoo! 750. Nice. We got some people putting up W's in the Discord. Beautiful. Juliet with 1275 from yesterday. 862. Anna, beautiful, 358 bucks. Somebody passing an eval, somebody taking an L. Part of the game, as always. We got a 608 in there. We got some money getting made, man. We got some copy trading. Beautiful, $1,000. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Awesome community, man. Awesome community. Appreciate you guys. Almost 3,000 members now? Almost 3,000 members now? Where are we at? $2,919 members. 2,919 members. Damn. Damn. Oh, I didn't even refresh it. 2,932 members. Insane. Insane, man. I remember when it was a couple people, man. Remember when it was just a couple people. Nice. Red Birds of Razorbacks taking W's today. I'm looking at Discord at you guys. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Some red, some green, but the green outweighing the red. Beautiful, man. Part of it. Part of the game. Soft Father lost on the overnight. One on New York. Yep. I lost on overnight. One on New York as well. Done for the day. Very nice. Very nice. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, guys, get the giveaway form filled out. It is in Discord. Go ahead, get it filled out. Link is pinned. What's up, guys? I see we got some new people hopping in. I got a message saying we want to trade with experienced members. I said I'd blow my account up 6-7 times. Yeah, guys, remember, we got a new channel in there, scammers and spammers. I will never DM you or friend request you on Discord. Discord DMs are just almost all scams. I don't have any paid course or VIP, or I don't have something secret where I'm trying to invite you to trade with experienced members. I don't have that. When you know about it, you'll know because I yap all day across all socials. It should be really obvious what is legit and not, but that's important to note. It's important to note. Meatball sub. I'll give you a duck, meatball sub. Filling up the gas in my ducky. Nice. Nice. Mike, the form is in Discord. Form is in Discord in the giveaways channel, Mike. And everybody else. Do you trade live? Do you trade in? Yeah, I trade live every morning. I trade live every morning. Right here, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Almost every damn day. I put every day because it's close to every day. I have much less days where the market's open where I'm not trading. Here's my ugly mug. 100% free, 9:15 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Kick, and X, streaming across all of those for free. You can pick your poison on that. I do go on vacation sometimes. I have time where I spend time with my family. I have times of the year where I just say, this is trash. I get sick. So, of course, I won't say that it's every single day, but it's almost every damn day. It's almost every damn day. A couple people started asking me in Discord, why do I post the schedule when it's every day? It just says, like, 9:15 every day. And it was valid. I should just tell you what days I'm not trading. That's what I'm going to do from the future. I'm going to say every day, and then if I'm not trading, I'm going to tell you when I'm not trading. All right, guys, last chances to go ahead and get this form filled out. I gave you guys 10 minutes. I think that was very generous. Let's go ahead and get this form filled out. About to close. Throw it in chat again. Boom. Let me run this up for you guys. Let's get the duck race loaded up. Meatball sub, I'm gonna give you the entry too, man. You're an OG here. I try to incentivize you guys to follow, right? We try to make this mutually beneficial. But if you don't have an IG at all, you're one of the few people that I would do that for. Let's go ahead and use the username for the platform that you're watching on. Let's get ready to run the ducks. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes till the duck race. W today. Not as much as it could have been, but like I said, I know my limits, right? It's different every day, right? I know that I'd be frustrated if that came back on me. Can't complain about 940 bucks, hanging out live, chatting it up. All right, giveaway form is about to close. This is what I said, 913, 914. Ducks are getting loaded up. It's going to be a good day, man. It's going to be a good day. I hope the guy who only had a few bucks in one account is doing good. Yeah, I hope so too. Jake the Snake got to give us an update. He's been in here. How would you know when trading has clicked without being profitable? You don't. You don't. That's the hard part. And it never really clicks. And how do you judge profitability? Right? This is the hard part. I used to ask that question, right? And you're asking a really good question. But everyone always asks, how long did it take you to get profitable? Right? How long, does this take? How long will I have to do this for before I can make money? And first off, there's no clear answer to that anybody else can give you. But you also never everything doesn't just magically click one day, or at least it didn't for me. You have big breakthroughs where you make big changes and things do start to click. There's big changes, but you don't have this day, which I was always waiting for. And it really never comes, guys. It's important for you to note this, so you're not expecting it or waiting for it. You never flip a page one day. You've been trading for 2.5 years, and all of a sudden it's Tuesday, and you flip the page and you go, oh my gosh, it's all roses and rainbows. I'm just making money consistently. I have this beautiful edge, and it's all perfect. It's like anything else. That doesn't happen in any profession or any sport. Why would it happen in trading? You get better and better and better, and you slowly go from wherever the hell you're at, which is probably bleeding money, losing money, maybe breaking even for a while, and slowly starting to make money. But then it's a never-ending challenge to improve from there and to continue to scale. So what most traders will see, I think, to answer that question more concisely, what most traders will see, all right, guys, form is closed. Hold on 1 second. Get a couple more people in here. You'll slowly go from losing money and blowing up, at least this is, what I think most traders will see, to starting to break even, right? You'll start to just be able to break even because most traders are losing money. Not only not making money, most traders are losing money. You'll start to break even, and then you'll start to have a couple of green days and green weeks and green months, right? But then you'll fall back on your face. You'll continue to go back and forth with that. Again, it's for most traders, myself included, it doesn't just flip one day. You'll start to have some big breakthroughs once you think in probabilities, once you really clarify the way that you want to start trading, you stick to one thing over another, you really, have a breakthrough in discipline and, having a couple of days where you end red and you don't go on tilt, all of these things. So I think that's kind of what it looks like, but it's a good question. And then how do you judge, how do you judge that also, right? Is it when you make a certain amount of money, when you make money for a week, for a month, for 6 months, for 12 months, when you've made more money in total? That could be on day 1 or week 1 or week 2, right? Like, so it's really hard. I would say you're going to be here for a long period of time, and trading is never going to provide this, this comforting, I got it all figured out feeling that we're all looking for. Even as you have it all figured out, even as you're very consistent, you are still challenged with scaling up. It is not the same game trading 1 micro as it is trading 10 minis. It is not the same. It takes a different skill set, and you have to continue to build that, right? So anyway, guys, here we go. Answering good questions. We are ready to run this. This is for a... Hold on. This is for a Top 1 Futures 50K Elite Daily Challenge account. That's what this giveaway is for. 50K Elite Daily Challenge account for Top 1 Futures. Shout out Top 1 Futures for supporting me, supporting the stream. You want to check these accounts out. Code RDF is going to get you the best deal. No consistency rule in funded. No minimum trading days to pay out. Daily payouts. No activation fee. End of day trailing drawdown in both the eval and the funded account. It doesn't switch. Absolutely insane. You guys want to check it out. Link in chat. Link everywhere. Code RDF gets you the best deal. That's what we're giving away today here, guys. 3 minutes on the clock. Good luck, everybody. Remember, don't go anywhere after the first duck wins. I repeatedly have to rerun these because people don't follow the instructions. If you dip out, you're not going to be in the chat. If we have to rerun it and then you win because you thought somebody else won, give it a minute. Give it a minute. That's what we got. Which account? Yeah, we talked about that. Oh, we get one. Yes, top one. Yeah. If you have 80% win rate but lose more on bad days than good days, you still have issues with trading. For sure. Yeah. That's when it comes down to, positive expectancy. If you... Trade for learning. Now I know you asked me now because I remember you asked me that on IG. All right, so you can actually tell it's me answering questions on IG. You guys are funny. That's a good heads up. I appreciate some of you guys in chat, but that's okay. I don't really have anything to easily hide that with, so. But a good note for next time. Good note for next time. All good. Thank you, though. All right, let's see what we get here, guys. Let's see what we get. Let's see who's getting funded today, guys. Who's getting funded? 60 seconds on the clock. It's gonna be a good day, man. It's gonna be a good Monday. Gonna be a good day. Ain't nobody going. $30 seconds to go. Remember, guys, don't dip out after the duck runs. Also, whoa, not that one. Hop in Discord if you're not in Discord. If you're not in Discord, I don't know how you're part of this race. Whoa. Hop in Discord. We got more giveaways running. Use code RDF at all your favorite firms to get an entry to win some prop accounts, even more prop accounts. Kai Nils, we got a Discord OG in here. We got a Discord OG in here. Taking the W. Kind, hold on. Nobody go anywhere. Do you do daily giveaways? I do giveaways more than daily. We do giveaways all over the place, guys. Welcome to the show. Yeah, it depends, guys. I don't like to stick my neck out and say any one thing because everybody freaks out. Kai Nils taking the W. Kind. You better be following on IG. I know you're here in chat, and I know you're in, I'd be shocked if you didn't follow this. Wait, what's your name again? K-I... There we go. Let's see if my man followed the instructions. Please have followed it. I want you guys to follow it, right? Like, I don't like to run these a million times, man. I want to get the people that win, you know, funded. Nice. Nice, my man. Kind. Let me put your name over here. You are funded with, where is it? A 50K Elite Daily account from Top 1 Future. Shout out Top 1 for supporting me, supporting the stream. If you want to check out Top 1, some of the best instant funded and daily payout eval style accounts in my humble biased opinion, link is in the chat. Code RDF gonna get you the best deal. 50% off right now, man. 50% off. We got W's in the chat, man. Hella W's in the chat. No. Guys, come on. Don't beg me. Don't beg me for giveaways. Yeah, there are more giveaways. There's more giveaways. There's more giveaways. Right here, guys. Hop in the Discord. There's giveaways all over the place. Hop in the Discord. Look at the giveaways. Chat in Discord. The only thing that I will guarantee you is if you beg for giveaways or you yell at me about giveaways and you say more giveaways or I need one, please help me. My sick mom is dying and I'm in a poor country. I don't do that, guys. I don't do that, right? I empathize with you. I know everybody wants free accounts. But if you clog up the chat with it, I'm gonna ban you. Okay? Next person that says it gets the ban hammer. Real quick, since the giveaway is done, we caught a quick W. Beautiful shorts on YM. This was the trade. If you missed it, you can go back and watch. Here was the exit for right around 940 bucks in the Top 1 Futures live account. We're keeping the win streak rolling. Keeping the win streak rolling, which is epic. Happy to do that on the live session. Happy to talk about some L's off live, but, you know, here we are. Guys, number 1, hop in Discord, okay? Number 2, check out Top 1 Futures. Link is in the chat. Code RDF gonna get you the best deal. Code RDF gonna get you the best deal at multiple props and also get you an entry to win 1 of 5 50K accounts. Past that, trade live with me here, 9:15 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Kickin' X. I appreciate everybody that hopped on. Ran it up. Okay, first person to get the ban hammer who begged me for the account 47,000 times. Now you can't chat anymore. I said it like 10 times. Appreciate you guys for being on here. Thank you for being with me. Thanks for being in Discord. Y'all are awesome, man. Trade safe. These markets are wild. I'm going to continue talking about it, man. I'm going to continue talking about it. I'm going to talk about testing with News Squawk or Live Squawk. I forget which one I'm going to try first. I'll tell you how my experience goes there. Appreciate you guys for being here. Quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to be transparent about that. For you to do your own research and make your own decisions. Decide what is best for you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Another W, man. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Talk to you guys later.